What's up, guys? Justin Morgan here, and you are watching my training from this past week. I was still kind of in this high intensity, high frequency phase where I'm squatting, maybe not to a max every day, because these clearly aren't like max effort lifts. They're lifts that I'm trying to keep fairly fast. That was 200 kilos there, a 440. It was 445 pounds on the first squat. I think I got up to 455 was the next attempt that I do later in the week, and that also was kind of the same thing, pretty fast, not really a max effort lift in any way, but the difficulty in doing like really truly max effort lifts where I'm grinding out reps is that I become really fatigued, and my lower back starts to hurt, my shoulders start to hurt, and I get some like joint inflammation, and it kind of puts an end to my training. So all in all, it's better to just not do that. Train a little bit lighter. You get most of the stimulus for both muscle growth and neuromuscular adaptations, so that you're becoming stronger. All of that kind of, you get most of the benefit from that without actually having to, suffer from poor joints, achy joints, having to take time off training, and that kind of thing. So the biggest thing that I think as a lifter most of us can do is just make sure that as we, train, as we go through training sessions, that we listen to some of those markers in our body so that we're not, exceeding that. So most certainly I'm capable of doing more weight, and if it were a competition, then it's worth it to do some of that. But this is my house. This isn't a competition, so I'm trying to train fairly moderately. One thing that I'm going to be doing as I go through certain phases, I want to do kind of an analysis of some research that I read this week on the deadlift and the squat, comparing the two lifts. Just for my own training, I do plan to start doing a little bit more deadlifting, and increasing, going through phases where I focus on the deadlift as a primary lift. And that will be, I'll be doing a full video just discussing that and what the reasoning behind that and the thoughts behind it are. But basically, so one phase of my training where I'm going through more of a general fitness kind of phase of training. I still be training the snatch, clean, and jerk quite a bit, but the deadlift will be part of that, and then I'll still be squatting during that period, but my squat frequency will go down, my deadlifting frequency will go up, and then I'll have a phase of training where the opposite is true, where it is back to more focus on the squat. I'll still be deadlifting or doing, really it's snatch pulls and clean pulls. I deadlift with kind of higher hips, whereas when I do a snatch or clean and jerk, I drop my hips very low. So there's kind of some differences between how I would deadlift and how I would snatch or clean pull. The reason I'm doing these pulls is as a carryover to how what weights I'm able to pull in the snatch and clean and jerk. So, aside from just general muscular development and fitness and that kind of thing, keeping my body in good shape. So there's all that, but just for the purposes of this video and upcoming videos, you might notice that I am doing a little bit more pulls from the floor and a little bit less squatting. So still squatting, of course. Probably drop back to 2. I think during my high deadlift frequency phase, my plan is to do 2 front squats per week with 1 back squat session per week. So that'll be the least, I think, in my career that I've ever, or can I say career, since I started competing in weightlifting, and, I started competing in powerlifting. I have done a couple weightlifting competitions, but not quite so much with weightlifting yet, as I'm still fairly new to the sport. I have less than a year still in. I'm actually coming up on my year mark. I think May will be my first year, so we'll see what I can do by then. I've done 100 kilos in the snatch and 130 in the clean and jerk. I would like to get above, get at least a body weight snatch. So I think I'm currently weighing in right around 108 to 109 kilos. So we'll see if I can get that. That's a big jump from what I've done before, but we'll see. So it's a good week of training. I'm trying to get a little bit more hypertrophy movements, so like some of the dips and stuff like that in the videos, so that, you know, when I make these videos, it doesn't look like I only do squat, snatch, clean and jerk, and deadlift and presses, because I do other movements than those. So I think it's probably a good idea that I show that or demonstrate that in some of the lifts for any of you that really care, you know, what I'm posting here. So that's it. I will talk to you guys in that next video. You take it easy.